Hello and welcome to another episode of the Classical Republican. Today we are reading out of the Cosmopolitanism of Nations, and we're going to be reading from 1866 for a truly national war. Now, the background here is that there's an alliance with Prussia. Italy has an alliance with Prussia, and the understanding is that Italy's going to get the Veneto. Okay, that's the area around Venice. Very large part of northern Italy, and they're going to get that back from Austria as soon as there's a war with Austria. Mazzini says that in order for the war to be legitimate, Italy needs to unite its territories without foreign intervention. It needs to do it itself. It can't look like some other power had to do it for Italy. Now, that reminds me of what happens several decades later. In World War II, Italy goes to fight Greece, and they are defeated by Greece, and the Germans have to come in. Hitler comes in, and at that point pretty much takes over. They take over the war. They fight and defeat the Greeks, and then they occupy, and they pretty much take over all. Italy's just there in a slightly supporting role for Germany after that point. And so Mazzini was right. Not that Mazzini wanted to take over Greece. They shouldn't have done that, but taking over the territories that were where people speak Italian. So Mazzini goes on to say that Prussia is unreliable and unfaithful on the international stage, and domestically it's authoritarian. We don't really need to be associated with them. From a moral, from a practical position on the international stage, and then from a moral situation with their domestic politics. He lays out some suggestions on how Italy can achieve unity with the Veneto victoriously and legitimately. Italy should ally. Okay, so the first one is Italy should ally with all Austro-Hungarian minorities who are seeking self-determination and help them to gain independence. Okay, make it not only about you, but about them too. Make it about and then they'll help you. Italy should use the regular army and volunteer militias. So these volunteer militias give it more of a popular feel to the war, and help it to make it more legitimate and seemingly more democratic. And there should be no limit on the number of volunteer recruits, and no required unity with the monarchy. Okay, so this kind of reminds me of the Spanish Civil War, how on the Republican side you had, you had communists and anarchists, and they were saying, okay, we're not going to agree on things, but we need to unite now. We have a popular left front to fight the fascists, and then we can get back to disagreeing on politics. And he says the government should also not restrict any liberties. Then he makes the argument, kind of going back to the unity. He makes the argument that Republicans need to unite with other national factions and put differences aside for now. Again, reminding me of the Spanish Civil War. Then he reminds them of rights and duties. Okay, going back to his how you have to have both. But let me read the conclusion here. He says, "May the nation arm itself to prove that Italy can and indeed wants to stand alone in this effort. May every locality summon its volunteers and send them forth. Our association shall assemble the necessary funds to arm and sustain our volunteers and to aid a popular insurrection within the Veneto itself. In order to gather those funds, we shall rely on patriotic subscriptions as well as on the municipality's financial support." And may every volunteer about to depart swear to himself and his companions that he will not lay down his arms until the unity of our country has been achieved. This advice of mine derives not just from my faith in Italy, which is indeed ever present in my soul, but also from everything I know about the intentions guiding the foreigners' attitude toward war. May 9th, 1866, Giuseppe Mazzini. Okay, so Italy went on to perform badly in the war. However, they did gain the Veneto because of Prussia's victory at Sadova in the what is now the modern Czech Republic. So in the northern part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. So yeah, they got what they wanted, but at what cost? I think Mazzini. Mazzini's way may have been more legitimate. So until next time, long live the Republic.